I'm Richard Lush, reporting for cadred.org, and with me is a familiar UK face. It is, of course, Jakem McCausland. And what he's doing at the moment is, for Reason Gaming, is he is perfecting the art of choking. That game against the Americans of Curse, you were 14-6 up, and you've conspired to lose it. So talk us through what's been going on. I can see you're over the moon at that.
I don't know really, we lost just some really stupid rounds, and I guess we've got an inexperienced lineup, so I think when it started going to shit, everyone started panicking a little bit, and then it just went from there really. Like, we should have even won an eco round in B, where it was 3 versus 1, and we were all 5 HP, and everyone just sort of kind of faced, and we just died, and I think that was like everyone just face palm, and then yeah, that was the end of that nut for us really.
Well, why is it though? I mean, because last year you were in a similar position against Fully Talked as well, another American team, where you were 14 rounds to 7, I think it was, to the good, and you kind of choked there as well. Is it just American teams? Do they like to leave it late and read what the UK teams are doing? I
don't know, I think last year it was we won the first map comfortably-ish, and then 14-7 again, and we actually lost 3 3v1s in a row in our favour, but I think that was more sick play from that Monty guy. But obviously, I don't know. I think that was probably one of the most unlucky games I've ever played in. And then the next game we played was also, we lost in triple overtime, and we had the match point 4 times as well. So I just don't know. We're just the unluckiest team, or just the shittest team when it comes down to it. I don't know.
Well, is there any one you would single out as being individually poor? I mean, we don't really know a lot about this Reason Gaming team, but you've got a busy schedule ahead. We're going to see you at a few events. This was the first real test for you guys. Has there been anyone that hasn't quite maybe lived up to the expectations that you would set?
I don't think so. I think everyone probably would have... No one knows a Cryptics, like what even is that name, to be honest. But he's probably been our biggest fragger so far this game. Like, he like mid to B on Dust 2, pretty hard position I'd say, and like we both worked together, we like completely locked it down, and then against C Play, like had like 25 kills, so I think he's the big surprise that, like, I expected him to do good, and then everyone else has been performing. I think it's just once we lost that stupid, like a couple stupid rounds, like everyone was just like really pissed off, and it was too hard to bring the guys back really. So I think it was just down to the lack of experience, like the motivation was kind of gone, like it dropped. So, but I think we proved, obviously, we can compete with that kind of level of team. Yeah. We just need that like final the final card.
Yeah, the push over the top.
That final step that we need, because that's where we went wrong. Yeah, really.
Well, I made a joke when I pulled you over here and said we better do the interview now because it looks like you're going to be going home. But that's not entirely the truth. I mean, one of the things that I've been saying to people, and because I like to talk shit, obviously, is that you've got as good a chance of beating a Nexus as any team here because UK people know each other very well. They know each other's game styles. They know how to get into each other's heads. I mean, is it a foregone conclusion in your mind that you're going to lose that game, or do you realistically think there is a chance that you could cause that kind of upset in the groups?
No, I think like once everyone cools down, like I think fully confident going into the game, to be honest. Like MX, like all these teams in the past, like we've always won or 16-14 lost. It's always close, so it's going to go down to the wire. They've obviously got the better players on paper individually, so I think it just depends who's going to perform better in the actual game. So I think that's what it's down to really.
I mean, is it a team that you have a good relationship with? I mean, there's a lot of rivalries in the UK, as we saw at I-Series, people giving each other sneaky little thumbs in the handshakes and calling each other naughty names. You know, it seems to be one of those things that are endemic within the scene. But I mean, is this a team that you and the Reason Gaming guys get along with quite well and have a lot of respect for?
Yeah, there's like that Cadre Mumble Gather channel, whatever. I think that's where everyone hangs out now, so it's always us and them, so everyone's good friends. There's obviously always a little bit of ratting and flaming, but it's gaming. I mean, you got to live with that, don't you?
Do you have any special plans for dealing with the Nexus? Is there any weak spots that you've identified as a team because you know them so well? Do you have any plans to like maybe neutralise Sam Zorp or to bully MX out of it or whatever?
We do know like how they play, but then the same they'll probably know how we play as well. So I think we know roughly what our game plan is going to be. It's just whether like if we hit the shots and we don't make those stupid mistakes like we did before, basically. Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that you need to get a result in that to really progress in the tournament? Because the way it works, and we've just been checking for clarification from an admin, I thought it was going to be the top 2 go through and the third goes into the lower bracket and the fourth goes home, the bottom team. But I think we're being told now that all teams are going to go through into the bracket. So even if you're last in the group, you're still very much in a tournament, although it'll be really hard for you.
Yeah, well, we saw our group and we thought Curse NA, it's a pretty good team to beat. We're fully confident to beat them, and obviously we should have beat them. And then Lowland Lions, I don't really know. I haven't really ever played them before, apart from in Gathers, and they seem pretty online. And apparently haven't really followed their results, but apparently they've not done good at LAN before. So yeah. I think we're obviously going to be very confident for that, and we'll be very disappointed if we don't like win that game. And the Enixis game is going to be a. Well, I don't know how it's going to. Like, it's just going to be in the game on that moment. So we wanted the top 2 for the upper bracket, but realistically, even if we did come top 2 and we came second, we'd probably end up facing like NIP or Virtuous Pro straight away. So we'd drop straight to the low bracket anyway. So, but it's going to be hard from the low bracket because one map in the low bracket is going to be difficult. But I think that is probably a realistic route for us. But who knows, really? Depends.
Have you and the management set yourself some minimum targets before you come out here? Because looking at the strength of field here, all due respect to the Reason lineup, I mean, top 8 was going to be a tall order for a lot of teams here. So, I mean, had you guys set yourself anything at all?
I guess everyone in their mind has what they wanted, and I think if we just beat like a team we weren't supposed to beat, that would be a good foundation to start. So, but I don't really know how is it like 9 to 12 and all that? Is it going to be exactly the same?
I presume so, yes.
So I guess like a 9 to 12 would obviously be pretty ideal. Anything better than that would be like really good. But as long as we like beat someone who we weren't supposed to beat, then I guess that will still be fairly decent, because it's at the end of the day it's kind of potluck on which route you get to how good you can do, isn't it? Especially if you're in the lower bracket.
And you'll be competing at the Mad Cats Invitational in Birmingham as well next weekend. I mean, this is a great way to boot camp for that. I'm guessing your expectations for that event are going to be slightly higher given the number of UK teams that will be in attendance. So, I mean, have you got any plans for that? I mean, is that a top 3 event in your eyes? I
suppose it could be, but I think getting out of the groups is also going to be quite difficult. I'm trying to remember I think we've got Western Wolves and Fnatic. It's top 2 go through, isn't it? Yeah. So, and Toxic and Dig. So we're confident we can beat them. We've played Fnatic in Prac before, and we've like beaten them. And Western Wolves, I haven't actually ever played them. So I think I don't know, we can obviously beat those teams on our day. So obviously getting out of groups will be the goal for that LAN, and then seeing how far we can go from there.
In terms of the UK scene right now, we obviously can say safely that a Nexus are the dominant force in the UK, and they're looking to really have an impact on the European scene. But after a Nexus, I mean, are we talking about Reason Gaming as the second best UK team? I mean, obviously Dignitas, they may have performed reasonably well at I-Series. I don't know what you made of that performance. Fragmasters Toxic seem to be a side that's kind of steadily, coming apart at the seams in one form or another. I mean, are Reason Gaming the number 2 UK team right now?
I mean, I wouldn't even class Toxic as English anymore, because they don't
3 Danes,
don't have any English players. But I'd say, I mean, it is between us and Dignitas. I'd probably think we're a little bit better, but then I guess we'll find out next weekend, won't we, when we play? And then that will be the real decider on who's second place.
That's what I love about you. You understand how to set up a grudge match. Are there any final words or final thoughts about it? I mean, I guess I should ask you your predictions, like who's going to win. I should probably ask you that.
LAN.
Yeah, this LAN, yeah.
I mean, if this LAN was online, I'd say Epsilon, because every Prac game we've played, we haven't got a single round.
Not one round?
Not a single round. Virtuous Pro, I'd like them to win because they literally butt fuck us online as well. Nip, like we play good against Nip, so I think Virtus Pro, I'd like to see them win because they just seem sick. So I hope Virtus Pro, Nip, and then I'd like to see a Nixus up there just for to hold the UK flag. But again, I think it's going to be like the luck of the draw, really.
Do you think Nip will still emerge victorious, or do you think this is their time to falter?
I'm not sure because they just play so basic and they just own everyone. So like someone just needs to find out like the counter to them, and it could be this LAN because there's literally so many teams you can't like account like for all the teams like prep for like anti-strats and stuff like that. So it's just going to be part of the luck, but definitely Virtus Pro to win.
And like I say, any final words? Because I know you've probably got some sponsors to thank. Everyone's always telling me I should allow players to thank sponsors and do that stuff, so I'm going to let you do it in the style of The Rock, maybe, or any other wrestler.
Nah, I'm too angry for that. Yeah, I guess shout out to Reason, Blanks, Rifles, Neil M, I guess, will probably...
Yeah, what the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck is going on? Why is Neil M your manager? He seemed to be managing a Nexus like last event. Like he just rocked up doing a John Terry on the stage, shaking everyone's hand as if he'd won the event single-handedly, and everyone was like, "What's he doing there? Why is he looking after Reason Gaming?"
I don't know. I guess he's like that Cadre Mumble. He's like got him with all the sources now, so he just loves LAN, and he's quite a good person to have behind you at LAN because the only problem I saw with our team when forming is that we're all quite quiet players, and Neil's obviously like got a little bit of loudness to him.
He certainly has it.
So I think he's good to come behind, and he just loves LAN, doesn't he? So he was always going to turn up and just support us, I guess.
Okay, so a shout out to Neil M. Is there anyone else? Any?
I already said Blanks.
Yep.
Obviously Reason, Still Series, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
You've done really well there, Jake. I think you've got a bright future doing this kind of thing. Thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, and I certainly hope you're not going home early, but we'll see how it pans out for you. It's going to be tough, bro. To everyone out there, do stay tuned to the website. We're going to have more interviews like this one from here at Copenhagen Games 2013.